kita ada some simple evaluation quiz lah. Ada simple evaluation quiz lah. Simple quiz. 8 question tak banyak, 8 je. Subjektif. Tapi open book lah, don't worry. Open notes. So I invite lah everybody participant to jawab the questions, to answer the questions. So saya nak brief, dia available melalui 3 cara. Yang pertama, I plan walaupun dalam jadual tu kita nak buat evaluation quiz tu pada 3:30, tapi since kita stop our last session tu at 3 nanti saya akan share Google Form dia lah. So everybody yang ada komputer sendiri, dia boleh jawab direct lah. And then they send through Google Form tu. Atau kalau yang tak ada komputer sendiri, either you boleh jawab kat komputer selepas kawan you hantar tu, ataupun optionally you can take a piece of paper, kita ada pancarkan question tu dekat slide, you answer lah, and then you just request your airpods to fax to Puan Ellie, or you just take photo and then you send to Zarif ke, it's up to you. Terpulang masing-masing lah, terpulang your company. Maybe some airports they decide, okay, kita akan collect semua kertas and then kita akan scan, kita akan hantar email to Puan Ellie, and then Puan Ellie akan deliver to us, to CAM. Tapi some of you, maybe you tak ada dekat office, you ambil gambar you punya kertas tu, and then ada letak nama dengan company je cukup, and then answer lah question 1, question 2, question 3 sampai question 8, and then you just send that photo to Puan Ellie ataupun Zarif lah, kalau you mana-mana ada. Kalau macam Senai Airport, you can send to Puan Atika. Kalau Silmek, you boleh bagi pada Azrul. Kalau Aspa, you boleh bagi pada Zaki kan. Kalau Tata Vanguard, you boleh bagi pada itulah Aswad ke ataupun siapa-siapa. So as long as benda tu sampai pada kami lah, just for our record. Okay, it's very simple, open book, open notes, so don't worry. So the question will be based on the first day dengan second day punya notes lah. Hari pertama dengan hari kedua, I think it's already available dekat kita punya Google. So you can make sure everybody ada notes malam dengan hari ni. So not first day dengan second day, notes today I think during lunch break ni I will post today. Tapi the question yang quiz ni dia tidak cover today punya, so don't worry. So maybe during lunch break ni you boleh go through sikit lah. Open book kan, bukan hafal, open book je. So as long as you know where to refer tu dah mudah dah. I think everybody can get 100%, don't worry. Don't worry lah. Very easy. Just not to show whether you get whatever kita share lah during these 3 days session. 2 days in fact, the first and second day. Yang third day ni saya tak masukkan dalam that question. 8 question, subjective. You can answer through Google Form. Kita akan hantar link. At 3 o'clock nanti kita akan share link yang soalan tu. So you just click and then you will be forwarded to your address, ataupun nanti dekat screen kita akan pancarkan QR scan code, dah silap saya. You boleh scan dekat handphone, you boleh jawab dekat handphone lah kalau you rajin lah. Kalau you type laju kat handphone tu, you boleh guna you punya handphone. Benda tu akan sampai ke kami. Or maybe you just want to put dekat on piece of paper, whether you scan your office scan and then send to Ellie, ataupun you can just take photo and send to WhatsApp Zarif ataupun Yana ke ataupun saya ke, anytime, as long as it reaches us, okay. So jangan risau sangat. I suggest everybody take that quiz, pasal that is how actually kita know kita punya performance kita, the way we understand. Okay, itu sikit lah announcement. Okay, thank you. So I think allow me to sambung balik just now. So I think I intend to continue a little bit. Just now I already shared not all may be relevant, some of it, but the most important thing, remember, the flow tu yang kita nak ikut. The gambar, how dia buat gambar, how dia punya cover page, how they spell out safety recommendation. And I'm sure if you follow that flow, I think your safety evaluation report become better after this. The content tu all of you already expert kan, tapi dia punya flow tu yang cantik, the formatting. Okay, so now before we proceed to the next chapter, allow me to share one investigation report which I think quite good. That's why I select. Tapi saya cuba macam BSKU lah. I delete sana, delete sini, tutup sana, tutup sini. Tapi surely you will know which airport lah. But it's okay. Tapi okay lah for lesson purpose. Okay, so I will open this report. Hold on, which one? Okay, this one. Okay, I will share with you in a little bit time. Okay. Okay, everybody see Teras Airport Sdn Bhd. So it is actually a real report lah, tapi kita just replace the real logo to something else. Kita pun nak belajar-belajar macam BSKU juga kan, tak nak tunjukkan siapa-siapa. Okay, what is this incident? Teras Airport Sdn Bhd operating Pudina Airport. Incident investigation report for Swasta aircraft 9M LNG hit by sky handler operated by Swasta technician. So tu title dia lah. Okay. This is actually the real punya investigation which is very good. Cuma saya tukar dia punya nama je lah. Reference number PDN AR 21st September 2020 by Asset Service Department, Teras Airport Sdn Bhd. Content, okay, very good. Ada content, executive summary, objective of the report, brief description, chronology of the incident, location layout of the incident, impact of incident, photograph incident, factual information, very good. Tick, check kan. Investigation analysis, shell model, very good. Incident finding, root cause, recommendation, wajib pun ada. Okay. Finding ada, recommendation ada. Root cause. Kita tengok nanti beza antara root cause dengan finding. Okay. Conclusion, very good. Objective summary. This report was prepared based on the occurrences of the incident that happened in the set area of Pudina Airport. Teras Airport Sdn Bhd looked into the incident with grave concern. Investigation was conducted to find out the root cause and opportunities to improvement towards the state of flight, operation, and to review the SC procedure and regulation if necessary. Okay. Executive summary. Objective of the report. The objective of this report are to understand the actual occurrences of the incident, to determine the root cause, to establish an action plan, to establish preliminary measures to avoid occurrence. So, at this point of time, this report quite good. Tapi mungkin after this, after kita dah share tadi yang AIB tu, future report try to combine lah dengan this existing one yang good ni, kita touch up lah dengan apa yang kita belajar waktu kita share AIB punya report just now kan. Jadi dia punya synopsis apa semua tu mungkin you boleh tambah untuk macam kalau you buat kek tu dia punya icing semualah pun agaknya kan. Okay. Okay, brief description. Aside Service Department received a report pertaining the incident involving Swasta airline aircraft. The chronology of the incident as follows. 12.51, Duty Executive Mr. John Doe 1 received a phone call from Swasana Safety Team. He reported that the sky handler maintenance high lift hit Swasta aircraft stand during maintenance and damaged the aircraft. Accident happened on 21st September 2020 around 4:04:36 hours. 043230, Mr. John Doe 2 come to SI Operation Office to inform detail on the accident and hand over safety hazard. Okay. Detail aircraft, very good. 737 9M LNG. Okay. Type of equipment, maintenance high lift owned by SHSB, Swasta Sdn Bhd, AMM registration. Okay, location, very good. These are the location. Okay. Nampak dia ada star dia, very good. Impact of the incident, aircraft energy, empennage of the port side damage. Okay. So ada gambar, jadi lagi jelas, very good. Photograph of incident, very nice. Kita semua ada idea. Photo explain all kan. Okay, so the ADP dia. So maybe in future mungkin kita boleh macam ini kan. Factual information technician marshaller, John Doe, Swasta Airline, working experience 6 year. So maybe kalau ikutkan BSKU tak ada nama, but it's up to you lah, pasal benda ni pun confidential kan. Okay. Duty of the time of incident, last day, sekian-sekian, he has undergone. Information of technician operator, John Doe 4, company swasta airline, ADP number, / information of the equipment, maintenance high lift, years of operation 20 years, equipment very good. I like this one. Sky handler did not share the previous cases involving maintenance high lift to swasta. Previously, the equipment has experienced similar technical problem for 2 times. Additional information, the area was well lighted. The maintenance high lift was rented by swasta from SHB. Investigate analysis shell model, liveware, okay, dia gunakan shell model lah. Software, hardware, environment, live model, liveware, okay, shell model. Boleh juga. According to Mr. John Doe 4, he did not receive any formal training. Both technicians have reported. So yang ini mungkin investigate analysis ni sebenarnya kalau ikutkan BSKU tadi is actually dia finding lah kan. Both technicians have reported, both technicians did not receive proper training. Software pula, no clear agreement between swasta airline. Okay, the scissor arm with the high lift, hardware pula apa, environment pula apa, okay. And then this is finding root cause. So banyaklah root cause. Tadi cuma satu paragraph apa, but it's okay. The scissor arm declined during operation, it's repeated 3 times, information, poor maintenance plan, no written agreement, record of training, JSC not available, accident was not reported. Dan yang paling penting, recommendation. Mungkin akan datang boleh tambah perkataan safety recommendation dekat sini lah. Tak pasti tadi. AIB tadi pun I think ada safety recommendation assurance. Okay, management SHSB completed, grounded maintenance, high lift. Okay, grounded ni okay. Tapi SHSB will provide maintenance plan and connection. Okay, in progress. Swasta will share awareness to all staff on reporting incident, share KSS, establish proper training. The SD will send letter to swasta, process reporting incident in the area, review internet AV trainer for swasta, very good. Oversight audit on swasta ADP training, through enforcement, driver ADP, etc. Okay, very good. Cuma macam saya kata, recommendation ni mungkin kena tengok you punya ni lah, you punya cermin, mana yang kita punya area yang we need to improve lah. So macam ini kita minta dia provide maintenance plan, etc. Ada tak kita cerita kat sini kita kena improve the way we issue ADP ke briefing ke apa semua. So that kind of thing lah mungkin kita boleh tengok lah. Conclusion based on incident finding, swasta airlines can handle shall implement suitable recommendation, safety awareness shall be carried out, swasta airlines can handle etc. So itulah. Mungkin improvement dia kalau kat sini pun kita tambahkan sedikit untuk diri kita, whatever yang I think we need to improve lah. Mungkin tambah enforcement ke ataupun lebih ketat sikit kita punya the way we certify kita punya drivers, driver daripada company tu dah cukup ke tidak, the way we enforce they have to training. Ni dah berlaku kan, how about in future? How do we do enforcement atau checking untuk pastikan all the agency yang kita issue driving permit tu, dia ensure dia punya own staff tu ada proper driving training, that kind of thing. Especially on all those critical ni yang macam saya kata tadi lah, vehicle yang pelik-pelik tu. It's not straightforward. Tak adalah dia lepas 17 tahun dapat lesen L, 2 tahun habis P je tu boleh bawa vehicle yang pelik-pelik tu. It's quite challenging for them. So kita require dia orang kena ada training. So okay, this is quite a good example yang real life je lah. Okay, I hope everybody have got confidence in conducting SPISI after this. I've already shared with you what are the criteria, what are the things that need to be included, some example that you can follow. So I think after this, I hope everybody have got confidence to know, with the help from your ibu pejabat I'm sure dah ada SOP dia, cuma to make you aware lah. Kalau perlu KSS, maybe you need training how to implement the SOP to do the investigation. Okay, so I hope after this every airport akan ada perubahan dari segi the way you conduct safety investigation report, dan I can see a more quality report lah after this, hopefully, insyaAllah. Okay, so let us move to another important aspect, our last module, which is related to safety assessment. Safety assessment is another thing that is very important lah dalam SMS ni. So I hope everybody can focus as much as possible. You can try to concentrate so that kita akan dapat benefit bila kita balik nantilah. Okay, let us see what is safety assessment. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Safety assessment. Safety assessment is used to assess safety concern arising from deviation from standard and applicable regulation. Sometimes kita tak comply. Runway sepatutnya 45 tapi you ada 40 je. You punya marking sometimes 0.15, you ada 0.1 saja, for example. Your light sepatutnya color kuning tapi dia tak jadi kuning. You sepatutnya flash. You sepatutnya flash your runway tapi tak flash. Sepatutnya tak ada obstacle, ada obstacle. That kind of thing lah. Jadi all this non-compliance tu, among others, you kena conduct safety assessment. Tapi bukan safety assessment ni boleh menghalalkan non-compliance. No. You must get approval from kita orang regulator CAM. Tapi in case kalau certain safety assess, certain non-compliance tu memang very difficult. Ataupun it can be solved but takes more time. For example, if you need to resurface your runway atau you need to flush your runway kan, ratakan tepi tu. You perlukan masa, you perlukan money, and then it takes you maybe 5 years ke 6 years. So while waiting for that, there are many operation daily kan of aircraft. So you put the aircraft risk at your operation at a little bit risk kan. So itu yang kita require you to conduct safety assessment. Sometimes you tahu yang you tak ada certain apron marking yang important. So while waiting for you to get allocation to paint the marking, you buat safety assessment to avoid an unwanted occurrence from happening. So maknanya safety assessment tu akan valid sampai you buat non-compliance tu. Dekat many airports yang kita jumpa tak comply dengan clearance requirement between PBB dengan aircraft. Sepatutnya Code C, IQ recommend, tapi sekarang kita orang dah jadikan standard bawah CAD 4.5. Tapi tak comply 4.5. Kalau yang untuk kod DEF 755 tak comply. So kita require you while waiting for it to be complied. Nampak gaya macam susah lah kecuali you buat upgrading macam Kota Baru tu. That's why saya pesan pada orang Kota Baru kalau boleh make sure lah bila you buat new terminal, you buat new PBB ke atau you buat reconfiguration of you punya apron marking, make sure comply lah. Janganlah diulangi kekurangan-kurangan dahulu lah di semua airport. Hampir semua airport di Malaysia ni tak comply dengan requirement of clearance. So for that reason kita require them to conduct safety assessment. Because why? Deviation from standards. Saya ulang balik, bukan nak menghalalkan you deviate from standard. In case certain deviation from standard tu you cannot comply due to some strong reason lah. Kita benarkan. Okay. Ataupun dalam you punya Risa ada pagar sikit. Buatlah safety assessment. Identify changes at an aerodrome. Kalau ada perubahan. Changes which affect safety. Changes which contribute to hazard. So kita buatlah safety assessment. Okay. Or when any other safety concern arise. Anything ada safety concern arise. You nak buat projek, upgrading projek semua. Kena buat safety assessment. Okay. So dalam assignment ni banyak dia akan cakap aku dah safety assessment lah. Safety assessment baru start. Kapal besar nak turun airport kita kecil, buat safety assessment. Jadi kita nak belajar, we want to learn how actually we want to conduct a good safety assessment. One method to identify safety hazard. Kita ada banyak tadi kan, safety investigation, safety apa sekian etc, safety survey, safety reporting to identify safety hazard. Safety assessment ni pun satu cara how we want to identify safety hazard. Okay. A criteria used for the assessment of planned new system procedures. Sometimes kita ada new system. Dulu tak ada VDGS, kita pasang VDGS. Dulu tak ada PBB, sekarang pasang PBB. Dulu tak ada prosedur, sekarang ada prosedur baru. Ni nak GRF ni. Satu prosedur baru untuk hujan. Dulu lain. Dulu kalau hujan, cek pakai pembaris je. Tapi sekarang kalau hujan, cek pakai pembaris and then ada somebody else. Kalau lebih daripada beberapa milimeter, kena isu snow temp. Aduh, snow temp pula. Snow temp tu bukan tak snow ke tuan? Dah lain pula kan. Jadi benda-benda tu semua kena belajar. Kena buat safety assessment. In a mature SMS, hazard identification should arise from a variety of sources as an ongoing process. Jadi kalau SMS kita dah mature, hazard ni bukan setakat kita dapat melalui brainstorm lah, macam apa-apa kita buat high rec dulu kan. There are many others way. Sometimes bila kita monitor macam Mr. Bean pun kita nampak hazard. Sometimes kalau berlaku accident, kita nampak hazard. Sometimes bila kita buat safety assessment ada projek, nampak hazard. Sometimes dapat input from mana-mana, ada makcik ke turun-turun kata, makcik nampak ada something lah dekat you punya apron tak rata apa semua. Pun boleh jadi a source of you dapat new hazards. Okay. So I try to take out on the right side ni, ada macam something dekat saya punya ni. Okay. Okay, safety assessment when? Bila kita nak buat safety assessment ni? Unexplained increase in safety-related events or safety violation. Yang saya asal contoh, tiba-tiba je dekat airport kita banyak ground vehicle accident, incident. Tiba-tiba airport kita banyak berlaku runway incursion, tapi non-serious runway incursion lah kan. Atau tiba-tiba je airport kita banyak berlaku taxiway incursion. Suddenly our airport many case of wildlife strike, bird strike. So itulah bila kita kena buat safety assessment. Major operational changes are planned, including changes to key personnel or other major equipment system. Macam saya kata tadi lah. Kita nak tambah orang ke, nak kurangkan orang ke, or maybe kita introduce new system ke, kita nak implement GRF ke, kita nak pasang BDS baru. We are undergoing major upgrading at our airport. The organisation is undergoing significant change, such as rapid growth or contraction. Sama ada company kita berkembang, antar company kita mengecil, kan? Kena buat safety assessment. Corporate merger, okay, Malaysia Airport nak merge dengan apalah agaknya, atau Subang nak operated by a new company, etc. dan sebagainya kan. Mana tahu. Asia nak, terbaliklah. Malaysia Airport nak beli Asia for example kan, agaknya. Who knows kan. Jadi benda tu semua kena buat safety assessment. When? Prior to implementation of any major change, potentially affecting safety. Kalau perubahan tu we think it can affect safety, kita kena, before perubahan start, kita kena buat safety assessment. In order to demonstrate that the change meets an acceptable level of safety. Sebab apa? Sebab kita tak nak that change affect kita punya level of safety. That's why kita kena conduct safety assessment first. Make sure kalau ada projek apa-apa yang besar tu, buat safety assessment dulu. Jangan dah tengah projek, 50% baru kita conduct safety assessment. Dia dah tak mencapai tahap safety assessment lah. For example, when major changes involving operating procedures, equipment acquisition or communication are planned. The scope dia apa? Scope of safety assessment must be wide enough to cover all aspects of the system that may be affected by the change. Maknanya kena wide enough. Dia tak cakap kecil besar, tapi dependent of the change, for example. Kalau change tu besar, kena cover semua. Either directly or indirectly, and should include human, equipment and procedural elements. Semua aspek kena cover. Dari segi human, equipment or procedures. If the result of safety assessment is that the system under review does not satisfy the criteria, it will be necessary to find some means of modifying system in order to reduce it. Macam tadi kita kata. Kalau kita dapat buat risk dia, kita dapat unacceptable. 5A ke, 4A ke, 5B, UA kan unacceptable. So we try to do some review and find some way how we reduce the 4A to become 3A ke, 4A to become 4B ke kalau boleh dan sebagainya, okay? To make sure boleh. Tapi jangan proceed lah, kalau UA tu jangan proceed. This process is called mitigation. Macam saya kata tadi, mitigation mean make milder. Kalau macam air sirap tu tambah air bagi dia cair, mitigate. Kalau macam bawa kereta tu letak apa airbag, bagi dia milder sikit. Sign off. Once a safety assessment is completed, it should be signed off by the responsible manager. Setiap safety assessment mesti ada sign off, indicating that safety manager is satisfied. Jadi manager kita tu kena satisfied. Jadi siapa manager tu depend on the project lah. Kalau big project maybe GM project development kot agaknya kan. Kalau small project maybe sign off by airport manager. So you decide dalam you punya safety assessment scheme. Maknanya to show that he is satisfied the assessment has been properly performed. Jadi tak adalah kita buat short sendiri. Sometimes kita level-level staff ni buat safety assessment tapi bos tak sign. So tak berapa successful lah safety assessment tu kan. And that the level of risk is acceptable. So bos pula before sign dia kena pastikan semua safety assessment ni being properly performed and level of risk is acceptable. Janganlah ada yang UA pun dia sign juga kan. Kalau ada UA atau RMD, kena make sure dia puas hati baru dia sign. Okay, 4 basic steps dalam safety assessment. Basic step dia, apa dia 4 ni? Definition of safety concern and application of the regulatory compliance. Apa safety concern untuk yang kita nak buat safety assessment ni? Kadang-kadang kita buat, kita cakap, apa sebenarnya you nak buat? What is the safety concern sebenarnya? So, kita kena cerita. That's why sometimes I dapat submission bukan daripada airport lah, daripada new project ke, submit. Nama dia safety assessment, tapi okay, apa safety concern yang you nak deliver sebenarnya ni? So, fail lah. And then, apa dia? Identification of regulatory compliance. Dia comply, tak comply, apa benda sebenarnya yang nak try. Jadi, benda tu kena ada. Basic dia kena ada, basic step ni kena ada. Hazard anticipation analysis. That's why kita belajar hazard high rank ni semua. Pasal safety assessment pun kena ada hazard anticipation analysis. Risk assessment. That's why kita belajar high rank semalam. Sebab bila buat safety assessment, wajib ada risk assessment. All those table. Development of implementation plan. After we have done high rank dalam kita punya safety assessment tu, kita develop implementation plan. Implementation plan yang mana all those safety measures yang kita daripada first day buat exercise tu kan, itulah semua implementation plan for the implementation measures and conclusion of the assessment, safety recommendation dan sebagainya. Okay, yang penting yang kita buat from first day lah, layer of defences, measure semua tu, yang tu nak implement tu apa dia punya implementation plan dia. Okay, kita pergi pada yang perkara pertama, definition of safety concern and administration of regulatory compliance. Any safety concerns are to be described in detail, including timescale, projected phases, location, stakeholders involved, especially dalam project management lah, or affected as well as their potential influence on specific process, procedure, system, and operation. Bila kita buat project, kita banyak in charge dengan orang lain kan, consultant, contractor, are they complying with the kita punya site requirement, nak kena tahu juga. Kan, bangla-bangla yang masuk kerja tu kan, adakah dia tahu kita punya undang-undang bawa lori tanah semua, that kind of thing. So can describe. The safety concern is first analysed to determine whether it is retained or rejected. If rejected, the justification of rejecting the safety concern is to be provided and documented. So kalau kita find certain safety concern tu kita reject, wah ini bahayalah, kita boleh buat. So kita ceritalah why we reject. Okay. And initial evaluation of compliance with appropriate provision, compare. Ada tak kita punya nak buat ni tak comply dengan CAD 14 atau sekarang ni CAD belum keluar, Annex 14. In the regulation applicable to the aerodrome is conducted and documented. Kalau ada, list down. Okay. Runway tak flash ni dia tak comply dengan Annex 14, chapter 3 ke, 3.21 ke for example lah, kena cerita lah. Daripada apa? Atau kita cerita pasal provision of runway centerline light. Okay, dalam Annex 14 kata runway centerline light ni recommendation for visibility below sekian. Kena cerita lah pasal kita tengah buat safety assessment on provision of runway centerline light for example kan. So kena. Okay. The corresponding areas of concern are identified before proceeding with the remaining step of the safety assessment with all relevant stakeholders. Okay. Maknanya kita kena identify first all area concern before kita deal dengan kitanya stakeholder. Okay, number 2, hazard mitigation. I think everybody in this room sudah terror hazard mitigation ni kan. Banyak exercise kita buat. So, hazard related infrastructure, system, operational procedures are initially identified. Bila kita nak buat project, bila kita buat safety assessment, sebelum we start project, before we start the project, what ada kita identify hazard. For example, macam saya kata tadi, kalau kita nak undergo building a new taxiway for example. Of course, among others, hazard dia ialah existence of outsiders, kan? Non-Malaysia Airport staff. Kontraktor dia semua bukan staff kita. Tapi kita bagi dia masuk dalam kawasan active area. So that is hazard kan. Lori every day saya rasa 50 lori kot kena masuk. Hazard juga tu. How about dia temporary entry permit, TEP? How about dia punya temporary ADP, etc. So semua hazard. So you can identify lah hazard. The identification hazard is conducted by considering accident causal factors and critical event based on simple causal analysis. Events that may have occurred in similar circumstances that are subsequent sebelum ni kalau ada potential new hazard that may emerge during after emission of plan changes. Maknanya kita akan identify apakah hazard-hazard yang akan muncul after we implement these changes. Okay, risk assessment. Semua pun dah tiada dah risk assessment. Kita dah go through all those tables kan. Example semua dah ada. The risk assessment will determine the severity. Ingat tak? Yesterday kita tengok dalam sampel yang saya tunjuk tu. Mula-mula kita buat hazard. Lepas tu kita outline the risk. Baru tadi kita buat exercise the risk. And then saya pun ada indicate some comment, recommendation how to improve the way we word the risk. And then saya ada share pasal severity probability kan. For A mana, 3A, 3C. So semua tu, inilah maksudnya. The method of risk evaluation is strongly dependent on the nature of the hazard. So terpulanglah. Heavy ke tak heavy. Kalau hazard to oil spillage, dia boleh jadi fire. Boleh jadi tergelincir kan. That kind of thing. Okay. Skidding, aircraft skid ke, vehicle skidding ke. Kalau bad weather, heavy rain, dia boleh jadi aircraft accident atau runway incursion atau vehicle accident atau you punya stuff slippery, etc. The risk itself is evaluated by combining the two values of, yang ni semua dah tera lah. Berat pakai kilogram, panjang pakai meter, risk pakai severity dengan probability. Yang tu after this mesti dah lekatnya. Pas haji asyik ulang. Bosan dengan haji dah 10 kali ulang benda ni. Berat, kilogram, panjang, meter, risk, severity, probability. Dah memang dah lekat dah. Saturate dalam saya mind. So semua orang dah lekat. Risk is being measured by severity dengan probability. So kalau keluar soalan quiz petang ni boleh jawab lah kan. Semua dah teori, dah lekat dah. Okay, once each hazard has been identified and analysed in terms of causes and assessed for severity and probability of its occurrences, it must be ascertained that all risks are appropriately managed. Bila kita dah decide hazard, risk, rating, 4A, 4B, 4C, sekarang kita tengok measures kita. Mana yang avoidance, mana yang preventive, mana yang nak make it mild dan sebagainya, kita tengok. So kita manage the risk, bukan kita tinggalkan, manage the risk. For example, kalau bawa kereta, hazard dia ialah traffic jam pagi-pagi. Risk dia apa? Kita melanggar kereta depan. So mitigation measures dia, avoidance dia apa? Bawa pada jarak jauh. Make sure kita terlatih. Make sure kita sabar. Make sure baca selawat dan sebagainya supaya hati tak tension. And then dia punya milder dia apa? Mitigation nak kurangkan dia apa? Pasang kereta yang ada airbag. Install avoidance juga, install apa tu? ABS. Tapi sekarang kita semua dah ada ABS dah. Kita lama je tak ada ABS kan. Anti-lock braking system. Okay. Itu semua adalah safety measures. And initial application of existing mitigation measures must be conducted prior to the development of any additional measures. Mula-mula kita tengok existing measures. Macam kita ingat tak waktu high rate table yesterday kan? Existing measures. Kita dah ada dah. Frequent 4 times runway inspection. Briefing before entering the runway. Apa lagi? Regular lighting check. Regular friction test. Repainting, how many frequent? Itu existing. Kita study existing ni memadai ke tidak. If not memadai, barulah kita tambah. Macam kalau wildlife, kita tak pernah buat shooting. Kalau kita tak pernah dealing with wildlife department, okay, discussion with wildlife department, etc. Okay. So kita study dulu existing measures, whether it is adequate or not. If not adequate, we may need to add another additional measures. Remember, yesterday I show you example, dekat LOSP pun ada current measures, future measures. Dekat HIREC pun ada current measures, future measures. Ingat State should provide suitable guidance on risk assessment model for aerodrome operator. Yang ni, alhamdulillah lah, ASD 105. So kita orang selamat lah. State ni macam regulator. Kalau untuk aerodrome operator, airport standard lah, aerodrome standard CM lah. So kita dah guide you jangan kata tak guide, ASD 105. Itulah dia, dah ada dah. Selamat, alhamdulillah. Okay, number 4. The last phase of the safety assessment process is the development of a plan. Lepas kita buat safety assessment tu, dah cerita macam-macam, introduction, cerita hazard apa, risk apa, mitigation apa, kita buat development of implementation plan for the identified mitigation measure. Siapa yang nak buat? Bila kita nak buat? When is the deadline? What is the progress percentage? How about the allocation, duit dan sebagainya? How about the people? How about the SOP? Itu semua kena bincang. Okay? Implementation of plan includes time frame. Bila nak buat, bila nak start, when to complete, responsibility, who to do it. Jangan macam cerita kucing dengan tikus, selingan sikit lah. Tahu tak cerita kucing dengan tikus macam mana? Satu hari, tikus bandar bermesyuarat lah. Dia kata, why lately itulah SMS kan, why lately lately ni banyak kita punya tikus-tikus kena tangkap dengan kucing lah. Why lately trend lah. Okay, who have got suggestion what to do? So one very clever tikus cakap apa? Okay, why not kita pasang loceng pada leher kucing lah. Pasal nanti bila datang kita dengar, wow, very good idea. Every tikus clapping tahniah, very good idea. Okay, so chairman lepas habis semua orang tepuk, dia tanya, okay, now who want to put the bell on the kucing snack? Semua diam. Good idea pun tak guna, tapi tak ada orang nak buat. So samalah macam ni. After we have already got so many implementation plan, who wants to do it now? Nobody. So make sure kena ada. Itu pentingnya. Okay. Selingan je kecak kucing tu kan. Okay. Approval or acceptance of a safety assessment. The state establish the type of safety assessment that are subject to approval or acceptance. Ini very important. Safety assessment ni kena approve lah atau accept. Okay. So state lagi, kita lagi, CM lagi, airport standard lagi kena. Kita kena ada type of safety assessment. After this, I will show you. What type of safety assessment yang kita orang kena approve, what type yang kita orang tak boleh approve. They are subject to approval or acceptance that determine the process used for the approval or acceptance. Maknanya kami sepatutnya kena ada lah. Macam mana kami proses nak lulus ke tak lulus dan sebagainya. Which one safety assessment yang tak payah melalui kami. Can go by you je, that kind of thing. Okay. Where required in a safety assessment subject to approval or acceptance by the state shall be submitted by aerodrome operator. Maknanya, sebelum you buat implementation tu, you kena submit to us. Only and after kita orang approve, baru you boleh proceed. Macam itulah contohnya. Memang tough lah. Memang tough kalau banyak-banyak tu submit kat kita orang, sakit juga. Tapi yang ni kita dah adalah sedikit planning untuk ni. After this, I will share. Okay, ni antara agreement yang kita dah dapat lah bila kita discuss dengan pihak Malaysia Airport as a majority airport operator kat Malaysia ni. Kalau non-conformance to subs, you tak comply, you punya lampu tak cukup distance for example, atau you punya runway tak flush, atau dalam resa you ada pagar protrude dekat resa, atau you punya ada obstacle transformer punya canister dekat kawasan runway strip, atau dekat runway strip tu ada macam batu yang you cannot remove, that kind of thing. For all those non-conformance to subs should be submitted to CMACP. You kena submit safety assessment to kami for approval. Atau sekarang ni, since kita dah jadi standard, kalau you PBU tak clearance kan, tak clear tu you kena submit pada kami. Should require CMSD approval. Bukan submit saja, you kena dapat approval pada kami before you proceed. For example lah, kalau you nak upgrade satu airport, tapi due to distance you tak boleh comply dengan some limitation kan. Due to distance limitation, you tak boleh comply tentang clearance between PBB dengan aircraft kan. Patutnya boleh, tapi kata Haji kita dah try lah redesign tak tempat. Sebelum you you approve kontraktor you buat tu, clearance tak ada kod 4.52 kod C tu, you kena buat safety assessment, you kena submit pada kita CM Airport Standard untuk aerodrome, tunggu sampai kami approve baru you boleh proceed. Itulah maksud dia. Ataupun lights kita ada yang 60 meter apart, ada yang 55 apart, ini tak comply lah. Runway edge light kan. You kena before you approve contractor to do tu, you kena minta approval daripada airport standard dulu. Macam tu lebih kurang. Sama lah kalau macam for ANS, Air Traffic Services, kena dapatlah non-compliant ni dengan state lah. State ni maknanya you punya ANS Inspectorate. Kalau airline certain non-compliant tu, you kena dapat approval daripada flight ops dan sebagainya. Okay. And then kalau significant change which affect safety, tapi tidak related to non-compliance, should be kept by aerodrome operator. This one you just cap je. Buat safety assessment, somebody sign off, your manager sign off, tapi no need to submit to us. Sebab kita dah decide kalau everything submit to us, memang jam lah kita punya store ni kan. Kita punya bilik file kita penuh. Jadi this one kalau something yang significant change lah, perubahan lah. You nak buat minor change tu, introduction new SOP, you ada buat safety assessment, takkan yang tu pun nak hantar ke kami. So, you simpan, no need to submit CMSD, but still should be signed off by SMM manager. That's why one of the role of SMM manager ni, you will be signing off any safety assessment. Okay? Tapi kalau yang besar-besar tu, maybe you need your GM to sign. It's up to the condition lah. Okay, last kalau you ada buat projek, kita dah setuju itu between kita dengan airport Malaysia Airport. Kalau you punya projek tu lebih daripada 300k, should be submitted CMSD for record. For record bukan for approval. For project less than 300k, should be kept by aerodrome operator and should be signed off by project manager, your GM punya project management, etc. Tapi you nampak tak beza tiga ni? Only the first part on the left side tu je yang kena approval daripada kita orang. Tapi the second and the third part ni, the middle one you just keep to your side. Maybe kalau kita datang audit you, kita nak tengok. Tapi on the right side ni, kalau projectnya you buat juga, tapi tak ada necessity for you to submit to us. Kalau submit pun tak apa, lagi bagus. Cumanya kadang-kadang kita sempat, kadang tak sempat. Tapi since kita orang tak sempat, tiba-tiba you postpone you punya project. So I think we have agreed lah, maknanya. Kalau lebih 300k you buat, you simpan, tapi kena sign off by project manager juga, jangan lupa. Tapi usually dia orang akan submit pada Dr. Zainal, ya my boss. Okey lah. Tapi kalau project yang small project you buat, tapi you simpan. Okay, faham I think these are the one that kita agree now lah. I think it's not being spelled out anywhere, tapi ini yang kita agree now lah. So I hope everybody can make it as a guidance. Sampai satu masa nanti kita fikir kita akan officialize it by, maybe kita akan mention dalam kita punya CAD ke, who knows. Okay, on completion of the analysis of safety assessment, the state either give formal approval or acceptance of the safety assessment to aerodrome operator, or if some risks have been underestimated or have been, maknanya kalau kita puas hati kita approve kan. Tapi kalau we think that some risk tu baik-baik 4A you downgrade jadi 4C for example, coordinate with the aerodrome operator to reach an agreement on safety acceptance. Kita akan discuss. I think you underestimate lah you punya risk ni. Takkanlah runway incursion ni you buat just 4C kan, 2C kan. It's supposed to be 2A for example. Okay. If no agreement can be reached, reject the proposal for possible resubmission. Kita boleh reject lah, macam saya kadang-kadang reject. Saya ialah Dr. Zainal lah, tapi input dari saya lah, kita reject certain safety assessment. Macam mana kita tak reject kan? Tak ada high rank. Dulu awal-awal dulu safety assessment nama cantik, panjang lebar cerita, introduction banyak. Tapi zero risk assessment, zero high rank. Itu bukan safety assessment namanya kan. So kita reject. So kita state boleh reject dan resubmission lah. You kena resubmit lah kalau kita reject. Macam baru-baru ni ada, bukan barulah, last year I think ada some airport hantar pasal pagar located dekat dalam kawasan Resak kan. Tapi ada certainty yang tak complete lah. Jadi kita minta kalau boleh you repair balik lah safety assessment tu. Okay, may choose to impose conditional measures to ensure safety. Maknanya kadang-kadang kita tak reject, kita tak pulang balik. Tapi we may suggest to you, okay, not enough lah your safety. There are many case juga kita buat macam tu. Oh tak cukup lah. Sometimes bila non-compliant, you kena note, bukan note, you kena publish juga EIP. Pasal benda tu permanent kan. Tapi you tak publish. Dalam you punya safety measures tu tak cukup. You just cakap share dekat Site Safety Committee meeting, share dekat RST saja, amend you punya error manual ke, amend you punya apron management AMP, apron management procedure, tak cukup. You kena masukkan elemen dalam you punya AIP, Local Traffic Regulation atau Special Procedures. Penting Jadi kadang-kadang kita tak reject, kita suruh you tambah certain condition. Okay, the state should ensure that the mitigation or conditional measures are properly implemented and they fulfill their purpose. Maknanya after you have already promised so many safety measures, so we as state, kita orang kena pastikan you implement lah benda tu. Sekali-sekali datanglah audit. You janji hari tu nak letak 5 orang. Mana pergi 5 orang monitor, 3 orang aja. You janji hari tu everybody ada toolbox kan. Tengok pukul 9, Bangla semua masih dekat kongsi lagi tak keluar-keluar, mana toolboxnya? Toolbox ya, toolbox briefing kan. Jadi benda-benda tu kita akan buat inspection lah. Okay, thank you. So I think quite straightforward kan safety assessment ni. Sebenarnya kalau you tahu macam mana nak buat, senang. I think to make us easy, kita ada another 15 minutes. Let us share some example. Okay, some example on safety assessment ni. Okay, hold on. Let's stop sharing first. Kalau boleh habis awal lagi bagus, boleh study awal kan. Itulah dia idea dia. Okay. Let us share satu safety assessment ni, Pak. Okay, I will try to share. Yang ni pun very tough juga. Saya nak sembunyikan logo lah, nak sembunyikan apa lah. Tapi kalau you ternampak airport mana, simpan sendirilah. For the purpose of learning, tak apalah. Kita share. Hold on. Okay, you can see this PDF. The one that I share ni, banyak-banyak safety assessment. These are among safety assessment yang I'm satisfied lah. So, but the one that we satisfy ni, let us share lah why we satisfied lah. Nak kata 100% atau tidak, tapi I can give 95 boleh lah kan. Maknanya you boleh buat benchmark lah safety assessment ni. Dia cukup garam, cukup gula, cukup margarine. Okay. So, kita tengok ada logo, ada company name, airport name, safety assessment report for non-compliance of different in level between paved runway and unpaved turf area. Okay, reference number sekian-sekian. Conducted 15 December 2020. Baru je ni. Nak tutup NCR lah ni. Engineered by engineering unit certain airport lah. ABC Airport. Okay. So tajuk dia sangat cantik lah. Kita faham lah. Non-compliance of different in level between paved runway and unpaved turf area. Dia tak flash lah. Okay. Ada introduction, ada objective, ada location, current condition, method of safety assessment, current control, safety issues, safety recommendation, conclusion, etc. Yang penting kena ada high rank. Tapi saya tak attach safety assessment form lah. Work plan pun saya tak share. Saya just share high rank nanti. Okay. So dia start dengan introduction. Runway strip is defined area. Ini cerita pasal standard tadi. Apa yang runway strip tu konsep dia. It is defined area including runway and stopway provided intended to reduce the risk. Runway strips are meant to be object-free and resistant so that an aircraft that overruns obvious can have space to stop without hitting any non-frangible obstacle that can damage the aircraft. So according to IQ Annex 14, Clause 3.4.10, the surface of that portion of a street that abuts a runway, ni semua bagus lah. Attract daripada requirement Annex 14. Nanti lagi sebulan 2 ni, kalau kita punya CAD dah keluar, dah tak ada Annex 14 lagi It's a history already Dia akan jadi CAD 14 volume 1 states that sekian. Training pun dah tak ada Annex 14 volume training dah. Training mesti CAD 14 volume 1 training dah jadinya. Nak kena ingatkan siap-siap lah. Sebulan 2 lagi insyaAllah. So the surface of that portion of a strip that's abuts a runway, shoulder or stopway shall be flush. Dia kena flush lah with surface. Very good. very good introduction. Cerita pasal requirement dia. Okay, barulah kita tahu, oh this is a requirement but you are not complying with the requirement. Objective. The objective of this safety assessment is to assess the non-compliance of different level between paved and unpaved turf area at ABC Airport. This is due to a finding by CM Road Inspector dated 10 to 11 months 2009. Saya tak cerita bila. Reference JA001 ABC sekian-sekian. Non-compliance detailed information, different level at 10 cm between paved and unpaved. Okay. So these are the picture, dia letak progress ni. Very good. Tapi saya kena buang lah semua. Kan you kenal lah airport mana kan. So dia letak lah phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Bila nak buat dan sebagainya. Okay, ni gambar. Very good. So orang pun nampak, oh ini condition dia sebenarnya kan. Okay. So airport layout dia buat lagi sekali. Very good. Actual work done, saya just tak tunjuk. Tapi dia cerita lah. 2019, 2020 apa nak buat, 2021 apa nak buat, 2022 apa nak buat. So all those progress very nice. Berapa persen complete, dia dah start daripada tahun sorry. Dia start daripada tahun 2013 actually kan. So that kind of thing very nice. Okay, now already count how many percent. Excuse me. So method of safety assessment. Bismillah. Inspection by engineering unit and measured the difference in level of runway, surface and runway strip. So bila saya assess, when I assess a safety assessment, saya akan tengok the key thing yang kita nak tengok. So alhamdulillah lah, I can say this report quite satisfying everything that I want to see lah. Dia dah ada. Method of safety assessment, dia cerita inspection by engineering unit, current control, very good. Most important thing, dalam SMS kan ada current control, future control. Itu yang penting. That's why kita minta you buat safety assessment. We want to see what is your existing control. Pasal it is non-compliant. So kita tak mau non-compliant tu contribute to accident or accident kan. So you kena tunjuk what is your current control. Very good. After completion, wire scan, etc. Minimize potential. Daily inspection. These are the one yang kita nak tengok. Airport standard. Kita puas hati. Okay. You tak perlu tubuh, do nothing. You do many things to mitigate the risk. Bagus. Alhamdulillah. Ni yang kita nak tengok. You list down. Benda tu you dah buat kadang-kadang tapi you tak list down. So I want you to list it down. Yeah. And then you must ensure lah. The one that you list down tu semua you buat. Jangan nak menutup finding tapi you tulis tapi you tak you tak ensure benda tu completed. Tak boleh juga kan. Rubber report removable, schedule 6 months. Ensure AGL 100%. Very nice. Ensure load bearing capacity is free from obstacle. Daily inspection, weekly inspection by operation, weekly inspection engineering unit. Boleh naik pangkat lah budak yang prepare ni. I think we know already siapa yang prepare benda ni. Weekly inspection engineering unit, joint inspection with CM and pilot, diorang ensuring runway strip. Mungkin dia buat tapi dibantu orang lain. Orang lain bantu tu pun kena dapat naik pangkat jugalah. Okay. Safety issue of non-compliance, hadam so very good. Aircraft operation, hazard the different in level, risk the damage. Very nicely written risk and hazard. Nampak tak? Very nice. Okay. Safety recommendation to flush, scan, completion date 2020 something, pending, highlight RST, very nice. Yang paling saya suka sekali AIP publication. Itu saya suka sekali. Okay. So conclusion, after completion safety assessment, we found the total length of affected areas to be flushed at XXS meter to mitigate hazard and potential risk. Several measures and safety procedures have been implemented. The current control to ensure the payment and restrict area are in good condition and awareness to pilot. Okay, very nice. And then they attach high-rec. So let us open dia punya high-rec dia. Okay. Ingat high-rec wajib dalam safety assessment. This ada high-rec. So kita zoom sikit. So macam biasa. Ni yang kita keep on learning kan from first day. How to do, proses apa, hazard apa, risk description apa, current risk control apa, risk rating. Yang ini satu C ni. Yang ni kita boleh macam ada dua pendapat lah kan. Dia boleh C, dia boleh D. Macam mana? Tak nampak eh? Oh sorry. Tak nampak je punya high-rec. Okay, sorry. Thank you Yana. I stop sharing first. Stop share. Thank you, Yana. I'll share screen. Okay, thank you, Yana. Okay, inilah yang kita keep on learning from the first day sampai sekarang ni. How to do high rec, pasal it's a part of safety assessment, kan? Kalau safety assessment tak ada high rec ni, kita reject, fail lah. So process activity, aircraft operation, different level of ni, very nice, hazard. Risk execution damage to aircraft in the event excursion, very nicely written. Full mark lah bagi saya dari segi risk ni. Current risk control, berapa banyak dia tunjukkan, banyak juga tu, banyak juga tu, berbaloi lah kan, very nice. Tapi kalau kita datang audit, kita check lah satu, ni buat tak, ni buat tak, ni buat tak, ni buat ke tidak, where's the evidence, kena lah, nama je auditor kan, kena check lah. Yang this one yang saya kata rating ni, kadang-kadang kita boleh macam discuss lah, why C kenapa C, Miss Jane, Mrs Jane, why C okay Haji, C because gedebu, it's a runway excursion what. So in my opinion, it is between B and C lah. It can be B, it can be C. But it's okay as long as you try lah. Tapi kalau saya nak komen, mungkin ini B lah. Sebab excursion ni kan sometimes dia boleh berlaku lebih teruk. Tapi kalau you see, you fight for it, okay, I am agree. Tapi kalau you, bila saya kata YC, you senyum dekat saya upgrade jadi B lah. Okay. Okay, tak puas hati dengan tu, you banyak lagi you highlight untuk ni. To flush the remaining, very good. Highlight to RSC committee, include, etc. You mungkin boleh letak AIP ke, you letak dalam AMP. Ni ada dah, very nice. AIP dah ada, very nice. Okay. Tu yang saya suka lah, saya cakap kalau you nak dapat markah penuh, you buat something yang you tahu saya nak tengok, tapi dah ada. Macam saya cakap, AIP patut, dah ada, dapatlah markah penuh. Tu lah contohnya. So very good. Now kita identify siapa. Ingat tak tadi kita kata somebody need to be you. Jangan jadi macam tikus bandar tu kan. Idea dia excellent, cantik. Siapa yang nak pasang loceng dekat leher kucing? Semua tak nak. Jadi dia kena ada lah. Civil akan buat this thing. Due date pun ada. So we can monitor. Head of engineering akan buat certain thing. Head of operation akan buat this thing. And then bila kita tengok SJMJ, HO. And then bila HO akan buat AIP dan sebagainya, ada deadline semua. Okay. So I think that's the thing. Very nice. So Alhamdulillah, I hope everybody really understand what safety assessment is. Kita pun dah tunjukkan siapa safety assessment yang baik. You know where to get the safety assessment, I think. Walaupun saya sembunyikan tadi, semua orang tahu. So I think we can go for break now. Thank you for your attention. After lunch nanti, around 2 o'clock, maybe kita ada some wrap up session sikit lah. Okay, kita start lewat sikit lah. Kita start pasal kita ada plenty of time. Kita start dalam 2:15, 2:15, 2 suku. Kita ada sedikit wrap up. And then kita akan continue untuk kita punya quiz lah. Okay, should you have anything to ask me before my wrap up session ni, better you throw dalam chat room. You tanya je apa-apa, nanti saya dengan my staff akan monitor. So have a nice lunch, walaupun bukan kita orang yang belanja, have a nice lunch, relax, 2 suku kita jumpa lagi. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat tengah hari.